I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang! What's good, guys? Your boy Eru, host of the Knicks podcast, back again with another podcast here, man. As you can tell, we're having some problems here with the eyes today, man. A long freaking day. Summertime, sun is out a little bit longer, sweating a little bit too much out there. You know what I'm saying? But one thing for certain, man, there's a lot of sweat going on out there, and it's not coming off of the like the brow of any Knicks fan. Like it's like, it's the sweat that's coming off for Julius Randle, man. It's like, damn. I mean, like, can he get a break? The dude's not even playing anymore. But the Celtics get beat, and we got to hear stuff about Julius still. So my thing is, like, how many times does this guy has to get crucified for the same thing all summer? So I've been banned from Twitter Spaces, right? I didn't even realize I was banned for Twitter Spaces. To somebody in the stream, let me know in the whole threads thing. Let me know that that's what was actually happened. So I had to communicate with them, and they put me back in there. So I've just been listening to the spaces a little bit more, just like people's clips and stuff. And it's like, the only thing that anyone is talking about is Julius Randle. They still talking about Julius Randle. It's like, I know we got to get better. It's a long off season. We got nothing really to talk about. At least uncreative people have nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing about the body language and stuff like that. Here's this thing here, the double standard. My man, Paris Duggar, who's he supports everybody in at least from the NBK standpoint. I'm quite sure I've seen him on everybody's channel supporting. So he just comes right off the bat with a comment based off of the tagline on this video. He said, "There's no double standard. Julius' physical play isn't the issue. He gets hate because of the mental effort. He doesn't give every play his full support or effort. We need you to care." He's talking about Julius. We need him to care. Shout out to Holcomb, he's here too. But listen, I get it, man. But how many times are we going to talk about that? Like Julius Randle is not going to be like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's just not that guy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's still a pretty good basketball player. Going against Giannis, right? This is him battling with Giannis. It's not even a proper matchup because size, defense, and stuff like that, the effort. Giannis is like, there's very few players in the NBA that gives it up on offense the way that he does and still gives it up to extreme levels on defense. There's not too many players in the NBA that could do that. One thing about this guy, Giannis, is that he doesn't have any moves. Nobody ever talks about that. He gets 30 points per game, but it's mostly him just bogarting smaller people, flying past them and then dunking on them. He doesn't really do too much else. A lot of it is effort plays. Him going to the basket, that type of stuff, doing, the same thing that people do in a dunker spot. But most of it is at the top of the key, forcing his way into the paint, overpowering whoever's in front of him. That can easily be defended, and that's what Miami did. So let's unpack some of this stuff here. So this is Julius and Giannis. This is another group here, Tatum and Brown. This guy Tatum is getting the Julius Randle treatment. not really Tatum. It's really Brown. Brown is the one that's been getting the Julius Randle treatment ever since they lost last night, because of his shot selection and because of the turnovers and stuff like that. But nobody wants to talk about the offense that these guys are in. Same thing with Giannis. This guy Giannis, like I said, he stops at the top of the key and bowl guards himself to the basket. What makes it work with the Bucks now, since they've been winning the last few years, is because they have a lot of shooters. They surround Julius Randle, excuse me, with Giannis with four shooters. Even the center can shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? So by him driving, bowl guarding, if he can't get the play to the basket for the dunk or for the jump shot or whatever he's gonna do, he's gonna kick it out to the shooters. You know what I'm saying? And if he can't get it going, if they're trying to get somebody, if they're trying to give him a little bit of rest, they'll give it to Holiday, and Holiday will do his little hop, skip, and jump stuff. Giannis will be right there in the dunker spot, ready to drive and dunk it. And then they always have a swing play option to get the 3-point shooters open. So their team is built offensively around Giannis, and they ended up firing his coach, which is like ridiculous to me. But nobody wants to talk about that. We constantly want to keep talking about Julius Randle and the effort that he doesn't give and this, that, and I mean, this is like it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. So we'll talk about this because I really want to talk about Brown and Tatum's effort here too. But since we're talking about this, let's talk about Giannis here. After Giannis lost to Miami, he said there's so much more to sports than winning. If Julius said that, what would have happened? If Julius said the same exact thing that Giannis said, like people would be ready to like run up in his house and like and drag him into the streets. You know what I'm saying? To take it even further, if you click this article here, is by Anscape here. They basically just highlighting the different things that they said in that on that day in the post interview. So the person, somebody from the Athletic here, his name is Eric Nim. He asked this question: do you view this season as a failure? So as soon as he asked him that, Giannis almost started crying. He almost started crying because, guys are built different, man. Not everybody's built the same. You know what I'm trying to say? So basically, I'm not gonna play the videos and stuff just to get this point through here. He goes on to say that it's not a failure; it's steps to success. Then he was trying not to disrespect the reporter. He was very calculated. He stopped himself a couple times because he's so full of emotion. There's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years, was he a failure? So I mean, it's a good point, but this is something that he's speaking on emotion, and also something that he obviously has been thinking about. Is that what you're telling him? Is that what he said? It's a wrong question. There is no failure in sports. So listen, failure, just like success, is relative. You know what I'm saying? Success for some people is waking up in the morning. Success for some people is taking that dump. They take in the morning. If they don't take it in the morning, they're you know, if they don't get to Starbucks early enough to get their coffee when they first make it and stuff like that, they're gonna have a bad day. Stuff like that, little things in this life it could be looked at as success. You know what I'm saying? Some people think getting married, having children, raising a family is successful. Some people think that not getting married and not having any children and traveling the world is successful. Some people think status, not even money, just having power over other people is successful. Some people think just having money is successful. So it really depends. It really depends on what you think success is. So some people that don't even know about this part of the world, the Western Hemisphere, and capitalism and stuff like that, and they living on a farm somewhere in a remote place of the earth, sheep herder or something like that. What is success to that person? Do they have like the goals in mind to make a tech company or something like that, or to like travel the world, or are they just content hanging out, taking care of their goats because they found their purpose in life and they're happy. So I mean, all that stuff is relative. I don't want to get into that too much, man. But let's scroll down here. Let's get into some Julius stats here. This is Julius Randle in the playoffs, so this is very triggering here. So like I said, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk about Giannis. I'm gonna talk about the Boston series too. Also Miami as well as this pod goes on. But Julius Randle averaged 16.6 points, 8 rebounds, 3.6 assists in 10 games in the playoffs, right? So, aside from that, he had a bad playoffs. 16 points is off from what his averages for the year. So his average for the year is 25, 10, and 4. Great percentages. 45 percent from the field, 34% from three is good for his position. 75% from the free throw line. So I mean, good players all NBA 13, 25 points, 10 and 4. That's nothing to shake a stick at, man. That guy's a really good basketball player. But the issue is the reason why he scored 16, 8, and 3 is not because he choked. It's because he was fucking hurt. He was hurt entering the playoffs. He missed the first game against Cleveland, for Christ's sake. And then he hurt I believe he hurt the same ankle again and ended up missing the first game against Miami in the next series. So I mean, the guy did not play the entire playoffs. He was hurt for most of it. He was struggling, trying to contribute, to the playoffs, trying to help the Knicks win. And nobody wants to say that. Nobody's saying it. Nobody's saying that Julius sacrificed his health and stuff, to be out there to help these Knicks try to win games. And what did Tom Thibodeau do for Julius Randle? Kept Julius Randle out there on the island and told him to just dribble the ball in between your legs a million times and try to get the shot. The reason why that I said that Tom Thibodeau's the one that told him to do that, because every single time Julius got it, he did it. And he got the ball plenty of times. And Tom Thibodeau did not call a timeout. Tom Thibodeau did not get him off the ball. Tom Thibodeau did not try to run any plays off him. He did not try to do anything else. He left Julius Randle out there to die, And then what did we do? We didn't fire him. This guy, Tom Thibodeau, is going to be back next year. Listen, I just mentioned, Giannis here. Giannis, his coach, the guy that built the team around him, Budenhauser, whatever his name is, was fired. They won a championship, and they constantly are building around, the Budenhauser's, coaching system, to build around Giannis so they could be successful, and they fired him. And what did we do? We threw Julius Randle under the bus, injured player, standing on an island by himself, dribbling in between the legs, not even a screen sent to him, not even sending him back door or anything like that, or get him low in the post to try to get him easier opportunities. No, stuck him on the island, and then they rewarded Tom Thibodeau by giving him a press pass so he could watch the rookies work out at the pre-draft camps, and we don't even have a draft pick. It's ridiculous. But let's take a look at this. Just this guy, Julius Randle. This is his injury reports. Thank you to Fox Sports here. Like I said, 25, 10, and 4. Injuries. Just looking at his career, not many injuries. Like in the beginning of his career, he was out basically the whole year because he broke his leg. That was unfortunate. But if you look at the injuries, 2018 is all basically related, but that same year. 19, 20, 20, 21, 23. Not many injuries in his career. Not many injuries in his NBA career. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this guy's been an iron horse. He always shows up for every single game. He doesn't, that's not really said enough. But anyway, 329. 329 is the number that I'm looking at there, because that's when he hurt his ankle the first time, 329. And that was during the season. So during the season, let's take a look at when that exactly happened here. Once again, 25, 10, and 4. That's what he was giving us this year. So let's scroll down to when he actually hurt himself. So like I said, it was 329 is when he hurt himself. It was 14 minutes into the game where he hurt his ankle severely. So we still end up winning that game against Miami, nonetheless. Right? Inactive the next game, 2, 3, 4, 5 inactive games before the playoffs started. And then, like I said, he missed. Did he start game 1? I can't remember there. 1, 2, 3. So I mean, I don't think he played. Yeah, he did play game 1. But I mean, the guy was a shell of himself. He missed 5 straight games in the regular season, and then there was time off before we actually got to play in the playoffs. So he was out a long time without playing basketball, and he was asked to come in and automatically get to 25 points and 10 rebounds and 4 assists a game. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair. But what did he do? The first couple games, 19 and 10 on that first game, which was amazing. We was there at the Garden. 19, 10, 4. For game 2, he was on 22, 8 and 1. You know what I'm saying? After coming off an injury. And this is when I believe he hurt himself again here. So he ended up with 7 and 2. He had 11 and 8. He had 13 and 4. He still got his 6 assists. He missed the first game of the Miami series, which is very important. He didn't dress. The next game he came out 25 and 12. You know what I'm saying? 25 and 12. The next game, another double, 10 and 14. 20 and 9, 24 and 5, 15 and 11. So I mean, 16, 16, 8 and 4 is what he had, or 3, or whatever it was, right? But I mean, at least he still showed up to these games. At least he showed up and tried being hurt. He legit was hurt. So it's just not fair that people can't compartmentalize the different issues that we have with Julius Randle. Yes, Julius Randle has a horrible attitude. He doesn't give supreme effort to begin with. But what do you think he's going to do on a busted ankle? So now you expect him to play even tougher on a busted ankle, and the guy's not even known for playing that tough on defense. Like that. Like, what are you expecting? It's a witch hunt. So how many times can a guy be crucified for the same crime? How many times can somebody be crucified for the same crime? Here's something too. Like I said, I like to be transparent and stuff. But people that have baby mama drama, you know what I'm saying? Like if you having baby mama drama or whatever, you're not the parent. You don't have your kid with you, and your kid is with the parent. But then every time it's time to have visitation, there's always a beef. Always a fight, always a fight. Every single week, there's a fight. How many times must you go through the same drama every day, every week? You know what I'm saying? Until something happens that somebody said, "Listen, man, stop, please. Just stop. Get over it so we can move on." How long is it going to take? Sometimes it takes you years. In my case, it never stopped. You know what I'm saying? In my case, it never stopped. Some people are lucky to have to be in that situation, which is unfortunate, but able to get past it. Both parties are able to just let go, and just move on, so we can have a better life. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna have a better life as Knicks fans constantly complaining about the same shit all the time. You know, it's just not gonna happen. So let's get to Giannis here. So Giannis, he was hurt as well. But the thing is, when they talk about that Miami beat the Bucks in the first round, they say, "Oh, but Giannis was hurt." Like, that's crazy. Like literally, Julius Randle missed 5 regular season games before the playoffs. But he gets no excuses. Giannis, let's get into this. He played only 3 games. He missed one of the games. He missed a few games in against Miami, I should say there. So anyway, he averaged 23, 11, 5, which is important to say here is that he played 30 minutes. So if he got his regular 40 something minutes, he still would have blew his regular numbers. He still would have had 30 points, and he would have had well over double figure rebounds. He still was able to get 11 rebounds in 30 minutes. So Giannis still was Giannis. They were babying him a little bit because of the injuries and stuff, but he was still Giannis. He was still playing extremely hard there. Let's take a look at his stats the same way I did Julius there. So let's get down to he missed a couple games, a lot of games throughout the year, this year. Not too many. I think he had like 63 games for the entire thing. So he missed 3 games himself at the end. You can see another inactive game maybe like a week or so before that. But he finished the season off also with 3 games that he was hurt. But that's an automatic excuse for him. He was hurt. So here we go. He ended up missing 2 back-to-back games. The reason why he missed those 2 games is because the Bucks thought that they could beat Miami. He didn't play game 2, then Miami lost. So showing up in Miami, the Bucks thought that they could beat Miami without Giannis. So Giannis sat out another game. Come back into more Milwaukee. Excuse me, back to Miami for game 4. He played 38 minutes, and the next game he played 42. So he was out there. He was Giannis, 38 and 42, 38 minutes and 42 minutes. So I mean, in the 3 games, that first game he only had 10 minutes. So that's what changes the stats there. But if you eliminate this one game here and have these 2 games, are they going to give me yes, they're going to give me the averages for these 2 games. He still averaged 32, 15, 8 assists, my God. 0.5 steals, 1 block in those 2 games that they lost against Miami. So 32, 15, 8, he played above and beyond what he normally does. And they still lost. And they still lost. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Giannis was good. 38 minutes per game, 42. Basically did better than his regular season stats by far. 8 assists per game? Come on, man. I mean, he did above and beyond what he normally did. He was there, and they still lost those 2 games. So you can't blame injuries on the reason why they lost those last 2 games. They shouldn't have lost those last 2 games. One in Miami, the other one in Milwaukee. They lost the game. They lost the series in Milwaukee. So I mean, how come Julius Randle gets thrown into the coals, but Giannis is like, oh, but he was hurt. Not really. Like I said, the proof is that that's why I like to do these pods, just to talk it out. Talk it out, because from what people say and what the mass crowd is saying, trying to lynch mob this kid Julius, which he deserves it. I'm not saying that he don't deserve it, But I mean, for Julius, he doesn't get the same benefit of the doubt as a guy like Giannis does. And like literally, Julius hurt his foot again in the playoffs. Missed game one of that Miami series and still didn't get no love, man. So I don't want to harp on that too much. I didn't really talk about this at all. I haven't talked about the Knicks losing to Miami yet because it's just annoying having to see it all the time. So I don't want to be one of those guys that keep beating the dead horse like that. So this is my wax at the horse right now, man. But I'm one of those guys. It's just like, when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop when it comes to all this stuff here? So anyway, let's get into this. This is shout out to Rose Rook Shiesty, Bin Him 10 for those that follow him on Twitter. You can follow him now. Decent follower there. He's a young boy. Says a lot of wild young boy stuff. But a lot of times he puts good stuff here. But so anyway, this is the argument. I using his tweet to show him some love and just to show this tweet here. RJ Barrett versus the Heat in the second round, 20 points per game, 43 percent from the field, 38% from three, whatever TS percentage is. I don't give a fuck about those stats. Against Jalen Brown against the Heat, 19 points per game, 42% from the field, 16% from three, and whatever else that stat is there. So the argument in this thread here now, the argument everybody's saying is that this guy RJ Barrett is better than Jalen Brown now, all because of this playoff series. So I mean, like, there's another argument too, right? With this whole thing, guys like, oh yeah, but that was the regular season. This is the playoffs, so the playoffs really count. I get that, but I mean, you got to get to the playoffs first. Like RJ Barrett, up until this point, is not a guy that you can rely on to get you to anywhere. And I must say, the 20 points that he did, the 20 points and whatever other stuff that he had, during these playoffs was fantastic. He played his best basketball as a Knick. Only averaging 20 points. It's not like he was killing like that. But as far as him being that driving force, the X factor that we needed to set the table for Brunson and Julius to do their thing, that's what RJ did. And I think that's what his strengths are. So he did play well. Is he better than Jalen Brown? No, he is not. Jalen Brown, you can give the ball and let him create. Whatever he had a bad series is not necessarily because Jalen Brown is trash. It's because the same situation that Julius Randle's in. Brunson's in the same situation too, but Brunson is built to be on that island standing there because he has a million moves and he can still score on anybody. He's just special in that type of offense. He's built to be in an isolation heavy offense. This guy, Jalen Brown, their coach, they basically just gave the ball to Tatum, gave the ball to Brown, and said, just keep shooting, because I don't got shit for you. Keep shooting because I don't have no offense. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Derek White. Derek White was able to step in and start for them and start playing well. Shout out also to the Williams kid that they have over there. They kept starting old ass Al Horford. For whatever reason, I don't understand what the coach was thinking. Why are you starting Al Horford? Al Horford can't guard these guys. He can't guard the perimeter and whatever. He can't really bang against Bam Adebayo and stuff like that. They just got him out there just because he can shoot the three, which is ridiculous. That other dude, that other Williams guy, at least he can battle defensively on the inside and give a little bit more offensive thing, especially in dunker spot, that type of stuff, athleticism out there. He's still smart, he's still a good basketball player. So it has to do with coaching why the Bucks, excuse me, why Boston lost to Miami. The Miami Heat, they laid it out on the line. They beat this Boston squad fair and square. Boston was able to step it up and get to the game seven because Tatum put the team on their back. And like I said, Derek White stepped up and was able to, because Derek White was coming off the bench, which I don't understand. Derek White started all year and then he started coming off the bench in the playoffs. That coach basically killed them. Basically killed them. That or whatever. You can't be making stupid ass decisions in the playoffs. When the game is on the line like that, man. So that's them. I'm not a Boston fan, but watching them play, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what's happening out there, and that's exactly what happened. They got the same type of mentality. Put the guy on the island, let him go one-on-one, get the shot up, and whatever. This guy Tatum hurt his ankle too. You got to give him. You got to say it. He did hurt his ankle. He hurt his ankle on the first play last night. So once he hurt his ankle on that first play, he had no bounce. He couldn't really move around the way that he really wanted to. He still fought through it every single time he did something. He grimaced every single time. So a lot of the players are, especially Charles Barkley and these guys, were complaining that these guys are shooting way too many threes. Listen, they were doing that all year. They beat us over the last few years shooting threes. Embarrassing the Knicks. Shooting all these damn threes. I think they shot like 53 something threes at one time. I don't know if it was this year or last year, but they embarrassed us quite a few times with that 3-point shot. So that's something that they do. They shoot a lot of threes there. So I mean, if you shoot threes like that, you're gonna die by the three, and that's essentially what they did. They died by the three. They don't run any offense. They just come down looking to get fast break threes and looking to get Tatum to the basket or Brown to the basket for them to kick out to more threes. So that's all they do. One-on-one basketball and then kick out to threes. That's all they do. And they lost in their game plan, which is a bullshit game plan. They need to get a new coach over there. They probably need to make some trades. Jalen Brown is probably going to be out of there, but he's not going to be out of there because he sucks. You know, which is crazy to me. Only one person can win the championship, man. So everybody, if you don't win the championship, should you just trade everybody? Should you just trade, fire every coach that doesn't win the championship every year, or trade the star, or trade the second tier player or whatever every time you don't win something? No, there has to be some kind of continuity and stuff like that. So we'll get into continuity as the season goes on, off season goes on, because we really need to unpack how we're gonna get better as a franchise with the squad that we got here. So I just don't agree with this thing here. To big up RJ and put down Brown. This guy Brown has been averaging like better than 20 points per game for a major portion of his career. One thing too that he mentions here is that RJ is 4 years younger, but it is what it is. Like RJ might never get to the point where Jalen Brown is. He might finally just snap and start playing well. Watching that dude Hanlon, the guy that this quote credited for training RJ, watching that dude Hanlon, if I'm getting his name correct, with the bully ball and the stuff that he be teaching, the dribbling and trying to get contact and stuff like that. What are you doing, man? Like if that's your coach, then he is never gonna get better. RJ Barrett this year he regressed defensively during the offseason. I mean, during the regular season, excuse me. He still couldn't make layups at certain points, man. So I mean, it all came to a head when the playoffs started. He rose his game. Okay, cool. But like I said before, I'm not gonna keep repeating myself, is that you have to get to the playoffs. The Knicks already missed the playoffs last season, right? We missed the playoffs last season thanks to RJ. You got to give credit for RJ for us not making the playoffs. Same thing like you're going to give credit for Julius, right? The Julius with the whole shut the fuck up with the crowd stuff. But RJ was right there. He was on the same team. We lost and we didn't make the playoffs because of him too. You know. So I mean, we're in danger of next year doing the same thing, especially with this front office that's afraid to make the big move or afraid to make the necessary move to make the team better. So we can show up next year with basically one or two additions and miss the playoffs. That legit could happen because it happened to us already. So I mean, nobody's have proved anything. We have to prove that we can get through the regular season, 82 games, make the playoffs consistently, and then we can start talking about playoff performances that RJ is better than Jalen Brown or whatever you want to say. It's just crazy talk, man. There's a couple things here, so I'm just getting a little long. Where we at right now? We're only at 30 minutes, so it's not too bad. So I just want to take a look at Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown had 23 shots on the ball. He's 34%. He only had 19 points last night, 8 turnovers, which was crazy. But like a lot of it, like I said, has to do with the Miami's defense. A lot of it has to do with the Celtics' lack of offense. They just left him out there to do whatever he can out there one-on-one. Anyway, let's just click these videos here. And let's just take a look at some of these shots that he was taking. A lot of them are, shots from the outside there. Make sure I turn the sound off. So for some reason, are they going to show the videos here? I see a pull-up shot for 2 points. So let's see. Missed shot. All right, so they're not showing it here. So let's see it. Let's try this again. Let's see if they're going to show the shots. Because usually NBA.com allows you to see the video. So I guess the Celtics took the video off. So they took the video off, right? But basically what I wanted to show you guys is that the way that the Celtics run offense is that they have the guys at the top of the key by themselves, no movement. and making them go one on one. You can't win like that. You just cannot win like that. Right now, I would like to give props to Miami. I would like to give props to Denver because Jokic is still one of the best players of this era. Definitely, absolutely. Definitely gonna go down now and be ranked pretty high on some of the greatest centers that ever played the game too. You know what I'm saying? When everything gets said and done. But playing team basketball is back, man. So I think we need to start looking on along the lines of how can we get better playing team basketball? How can we get um our Knicks playing better as a team? Like I said, we lost because we have no ball movement. Tom Thibodeau sticks guys on the island, and we just stuck, and there's nobody moving. This guy, we relying too heavily on guys like Grimes, Quentin Grimes, that can't create his own shot. He's afraid to shoot. I don't know if it's Tom Thibodeau's does done messed his brain up or something. But I mean, this guy Quentin Grimes has all the moves. He was a high school All America, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he does not assert himself offensively enough, and I don't know if he's going to get better. I mean, the Knicks or the Knicks fans and the Knicks franchise could bank the next season on Quentin Grimes making the next step. But what if he doesn't? Then we'll be in trouble. Josh Hart is another guy too. It's basically him and Grimes are the same. Josh Hart could possibly be a 20-point a game scorer, but he doesn't want to shoot it. He's content with being that hockey assist guy, that glue guy. He's content with being that, which is a very good role for him. So we can't get the Josh Hart expecting him to be that 20-point a game scorer or whatever like that. He's not going to be an impact scorer. He'll score sometimes and it'll look great, but he's not one of those things where we can rely on him to drop some buckets on us. You know what I'm saying? Even if we keep Josh Hart, which I think we should, we still need to get that next guy that can create the shot and get better. So I mean, we're gonna have to make some hard decisions, with Quentin Grimes, with IQ and these guys. We got to figure out who do we want to bank on, who do we see here going into the future, how can we make this team better, who needs to stay and who doesn't, you know? Like people that hate Julius Randle, but I mean the guy can rebound and he can pass the ball, he could dribble. You know what I'm saying? If we can get his role reduced and get him playing off the ball, and have somebody else dribbling the ball where Julius is getting the pass off the ball, then it makes more sense. And now Julius can be the disgusting rebounder, enforcer guy that we need. He can go into that role because I think that's very seamless for him to get into that role. But we need to get that extra ball handler or two to get the ball out of Julius's hands. That way, Julius can get it on the run, and Julius will still could get 20 points per game. Except he just won't be getting it by dribbling in between his legs 40 times. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad that the NBA.com doesn't have the shot selection here for Brown, but it's all good. So once again, shout out to Rosheisty, whatever how you say his name. Check this out, man. I know you guys done watched this a million times, but I gotta play it. I don't think the sound's gonna play, but I don't care. So this is So he basically says if your best players aren't defenders, it's hard to create good defense. I mean, that's a bar right there. You know what I'm saying? That's like something that Nas is gonna say on his next album, or Jay-Z is gonna throw a subliminal or something like that. This is something that they would say. If your best players aren't defenders, it's hard to create a good defense. So listen, Julius Randle's our best defense, is one of our best players. Brunson is our best player. Neither one of those guys are good defenders. You know what I'm saying? So how could you build a whole defense around those two guys? So it's tough. But listen, Brunson could get charges. Julius Randle plays good post defense, interior defense, I think. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good perimeter defender. He shouldn't be out there. But we got him out there. That's Tom Thibodeau's fault. IQ is a good basketball player too, defender. He's not a good help defender. He leaves wide open 3-point shooters all day long. So there's quite a few things that we can tighten up. But like it's a lot of questions that we need to ask ourselves as a fan base and just like as a franchise too. Like are we more concerned with our guys being the second person to sign a contract in the Knicks history, or are we more concerned with the Knicks getting better as a team and winning basketball games? That we need to figure that out. We need to figure out what's the most important for us. So anyway, let me finish this up here. So this is who I think who I think will satisfy most Knicks fans at power forward. If we could take Julius Randle out and fix him and replace him with what's his nickname? Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. Siakam doesn't dribble in between his legs a million times. You know what I'm saying? He plays really good defense for power forward position. You know what I'm saying? Very good defender, really good finisher, super long arms. He's a good perimeter defender, good interior defender, runs the floor really well. You know what I'm saying? And also too, which is crazy to me, is check out the stats here: 24 points per game, right? 7 rebounds, and what jumps out at me is the 5.8 assist. 5.8 assists. That's the same amount of assists that Brunson is getting just about. This guy Spicy P, Siakam has then turned himself into a point guard basically, with the way this NBA is now, which is crazy here with the stats. But 5.8, that's 2 years in a row at over 5 assists. Steals per game is down, blocks are down, but no, it's funny. Most defenders don't get those stats. Most like really good defenders don't usually get a lot of steals and blocks because they're too busy defending. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he plays a lot of minutes to 37 minutes per game. Field goal percentage is 48 because of the 3-point shooting. He shoots 32% from the three. So he's not the best 3-point shooter, but he's right on par with Julius Randle for the most part. Shoots 52% from the 2-point range. Free throws is 77. So I mean, him scoring 24 points at the power forward position in Tom Thibodeau's offense will make more sense because you leave the ball handling up to the guards at that point. You have Brunson, and then you would have to get another guy. But listen, if Siakam is getting 5.8 assists per game, then he's doing something good there. So he's definitely going to help the offense in that way too. So that's interesting, man. So that's who I would get. I think this Pascal Siakam is the ultimate Nick power forward right now in 2023 going into 24. For the wing player, and this is somebody that nobody wanted. People was like, hell no to this guy. But now, if we were to get Jeremy Grant right now for Julius Randle, people would say, yes, I would do that. You know, but he would have to be a small forward. He couldn't be a power forward for us. He's not as super quick, but he could defend the small forward spot. But we're looking to be, in my opinion, we're looking to be a good defensive team. We're looking to that's it basically. Most fans only care about the defense. We want to be a better defensive team. Look at Jeremy Grant's stats: 24-2. His rebounds were never up. You know what I'm saying? So he has no business being a power forward if he can't rebound, right? So I mean, 47% from the field, 40% from three, 52% from the 2-point range. So I mean, this guy's a good scorer. 81% from the free throw line, excellent score. 20 points per game. He's done that basically the last 3 seasons of his career. So I mean, getting him here, what is the assist? The assist, like I said, the same thing with him too. He doesn't really get a lot of steals and blocks, but he's for his career he's had two block per game season. And then he had a couple 1 block per game seasons too. So I mean, he does get those stats a little bit, but usually good defenders don't have those major stats. So anyway, Jeremy Grant and Spicy P, Pascal Siakam are basically the New York Knicks fans' wet dream at the power forward and small forward spot. You know what I'm saying? If we had those two guys, I think that would satisfy everybody, defensive wise and also 3-point shooting wise too. Passing, like I said, passing the ball. Siakam passes the ball really well. Jeremy Grant, he gets 3 assists per game too. So basically three assists per game too. So and they're all good good finishers. So that's Knicks fans' wet dream. But these are 2 players that we actually can get. So I mean, are you willing to trade an RJ Barrett for Siakam? I think we could do it. Toronto's looking to change what's going on over there. So trading Pascal Siakam and maybe some other extra pieces for Siakam, I think that could work. If you want to talk about Julius Randle to Portland, we could take on Jeremy Grant, add some other pieces, and maybe get another player as well. So these are 2 players that we could get. This would definitely stop all the fucking crying. We don't. Oh, Julius Randle don't play defense. Oh, okay. Listen, Pascal Siakam, shut the fuck up now. He plays defense. And he passes the ball and all that shit still too. And he scores 24 points per game. This guy Jeremy Grant shoots the 3, defends well, finishes well. What else do you want from me? Shut the fuck up. Get these 2 guys here, and this will shut everybody up. But these are not the sexy names. So I don't know if these are 2 players that Knicks fans would even want together on the same team. But this is basically what stops us from crying. So anyway, that's basically what I want to get at today. Just the rebuilding of the Knicks, man, and just like, this whole witch hunt with Julius Randle. I just wish it would stop. I get it. Julius Randle is just not. He's just not for everybody. He's just not. I would like to hang out with Julius, off the court, because I got a little kid. Yeah, I got a small kid that would probably play really well with his kids. So I would love to meet Julius Randle and do a play date with my kids. You know what I'm saying. But when it comes to basketball, yes, Julius Randle is a head case, man. He doesn't play defense. We all know that. But it's not. I'm not going to expect him to play defense. Like Pascal Siakam, if he was out there, he's going to play the defense that we want him to play. Then you expect it. But Julius Randle, you're not going to expect him to play defense. He's never done it. Is Julius Randle tough? Yes. So I mean, there's certain things that we can get out of his game that's beneficial to us. But we would have to be able to build around that. Are the Knicks willing to do that? Are Knicks fans willing to let certain things go to look at the bigger picture and look at Julius Randle's contract for number one? Look at Julius Randle's contract. And compared to the rest of the team. If I could do that real quick. Uh, looking at Julius Randle's contract. I'm gonna have to start from the beginning here. He has a good contract. He's not making over 30 million a year. The highest paid player right now, I believe, is RJ Barrett. The highest paid player right now is RJ Barrett. I might have to go. There you go. Is that it? Let's just see if this is it here. I have to do that. Yeah. So let's go all the way to the bottom here. I just want to get the salaries here, just so I can show you guys, right in your face what the salary is. So finally got it. Knicks current contracts. Lord have mercy. So let's get this on the screen here. Knicks current contracts. Like I said, Julius Randle's only making 23 million. People acting like he makes so much, like he makes 40 million. He makes 23. Next year, for next season, he'll be making 25. He never gets over 30. You know what I'm saying? The person that makes that's making that much is going to be not even RJ. RJ is not even making 30. In that year, Julius Randle will be the highest paid Nick, but RJ Barrett is right behind him with 27. But none of these guys make over 30 million per year. So I mean, these are great contracts. Brunson is on the descending, on the descending contract. RJ's on a good contract. So if we can get rid of Derrick Rose and of course Evan Fournier and stuff like that, and get another player that's on the same mark that's making about 20 something, if you can get another 20 something million dollar player, that's just as good as these guys, then maybe we can mix it up and change people's roles and stuff. With the way the Knicks salary situation is, we can sign Josh Hart to say $18 million per year deal, and still get another $23 million player. You know, we still can do that. And then we could still probably get another veteran at a lower price range also. Around the Isaiah Hartenstein range, $7 million, $8 million around that mark. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's just interesting, man. So I mean, shout out to the chat. I've been just kind of just talking. I love to talk, man. I kind of just do this pod together because I was just wanted to do a lot of pods. I have a lot of pods queued up that I haven't really been able to do it due to time and shit like that. Shout out to Memorial Day weekend. Of course, Memorial Day weekend is very tough to do anything. Shout out to people that did put pods and were able to put spaces out and stuff like that during holiday weekends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to people that do that. But listen, I'm not one of those guys that can do that all the time. So most of the time I'm working too, man. So I appreciate you guys for supporting and listening to the pod and stuff. So those that have popped in, please go to the beginning of the pod so you can see the full picture of what I'm trying to get here. I like to talk these things out. Because this Julius Randle guy, like I said, Julius Randle is who he is. But why do we got to keep talking about it? Why is that like the hottest topic? Like as if we don't know. It's just crazy. Like, why are we going to keep talking about somebody's flaws over and over and over again when we already know their flaws? We've been talking about it nonstop. Why do we got to keep crucifying this one person over and over for their flaws? How do we get better? What is the solution? What is the solution? Shout out to what's my man's name? Oh my god! Shout out to Rafael Diaz. So he had a spaces, and I believe he was with the young lady Charlotte. I've never been on the same panel with Charlotte. But they're talking about Julius Randle, right? So Charlotte, like, why do you have so much faith in Julius Randle? But my thing is, why is there faith though? Why does it have to be? Oh, why do you have so much faith in Julius Randle? Why do you have so much hate for Julius Randle? Like, why is it so crazy? Why is it got to be faith and hate? Just because somebody is saying that, well, but he was hurt. Oh, why you got so much faith in Julius Randle? No, I'm just speaking the facts. What, if now if you talk badly about him, why you hate him so much? It's like, I wish that, it's gonna be a part of sports, but I wish I that's one thing that I really just can't. I really just don't have fun talking about basketball like that. It's not fun for me. There's so many different things to talk about. If people would just let it go and talk about something else, there's plenty of things to talk about. So this is comment here. He says, run it back in Harrison Barnes and DiVincenzo. Harrison Barnes has been tagged to the Knicks for so many years, man. The guy's almost out the league now. Shout out to Sacramento. If you want to talk about body language, that guy Harrison Barnes has horrible body language. So we're gonna get him, and he's basically an old man Julius Randle. He's basically out the league. DiVincenzo, on the other hand, is a guy that we could probably get on the cheap. And if you get a guy like DiVincenzo, then what the hell we need Quentin Grimes for? Because if you're gonna sign my man iHeart back here on the right on this side here, my man iHeart. If you're gonna sign iHeart and we got IQ still, what you got Quentin Grimes for? We could sign DiVincenzo on the low, for the low, and then move Quentin Grimes and somebody else to improve another position. There's so many different things that we can do. DiVincenzo is a good rebounder. He reminds me of Bob Sura. For those that remember Bob Sura, he reminds me of Bob Sura a lot. He could ball handle. He could do it all. He's not really that great of a basketball player, but put him in a team concept, he'll be great out there. He's basically cut from the same cloth as Mikal Bridges and Brunson and all these guys. Those Villanova boys are just different. Their personality and stuff like that. Let me keep scrolling. I just want to show some love to my guys here. Shout out to Rebuild NYK. What's good? Let me see. Too much family, too little business. Uh, Spicy will get the Randall treatment unless Obi gets traded. Yeah, that's another thing too. Obi Toppin is another guy too. Like people love Obi Toppin's potential so much. People are still talking about Obi Toppin as Amari Stoudemire. I don't see the comparisons. I like the comparisons of Obi Toppin and Amari Stoudemire is like they're not the same player. Obi Toppin has no power in him. When was the last time you ever seen Obi Toppin drive the lane and banging on somebody? When was the last time you seen him create a move and spin off somebody and just banging on somebody? Amari Stoudemire did that 3 or 4 times a game, you know, and he could shoot the mid range jump shot and he could take guys off the dribble, that type of thing. Super electric. Obi Toppin is not that guy, and you can't say, well, but Tom Thibodeau, no, you can't do that because Obi Toppin still has all the opportunities to do everything that he could, but Obi Toppin just not that guy. But Obi Toppin might be that guy, but he's one of those guys that need to be completely featured and completely. Oh, hey, listen, this is your power forward position. Hey, this is your 35 minutes per game, and nobody's gonna touch your minutes. There you go play. Now he'll play. But to play if somebody's better than him or somebody not better necessarily better than him, but somebody that's contributing on the squad in the same position, he's gonna feel slighted. Oh, well, the coach just wants me to shoot threes, so I'm just gonna shoot threes. So that's a loser, man. We don't need a loser like that on the squad. So is Obi Toppin a loser? He might be. He might be a loser for this group. So he might need to be put in the mix too. Send him out somewhere else to get somebody here that's gonna work for us, man. Somebody that's gonna work with what we want to do. Somebody that can play defense and shoot threes. Obi Toppin, people want him to do it. He wanted him to do it. I don't know. So you said you like Grant, but not at 30 million. Hey, listen, 30 million is not a lot of money. Like I said, like I have the Knicks salary here. There's no Nick that's making 30 million. Nobody's making 30 million all the way up into 2020 26, 27 when RJ's contract is up. Nobody's gonna make 30 million at this point in time right now. So getting a Grant, Jeremy Grant, let's see what his contract. I believe he's a free agent. And just from his age, he's 28, and well, his production and stuff like that. And I don't think he's gonna warrant getting 30 million. He's making 20 now. So I mean he might be able to get that 30. He might get close to 30, but it really depends on what kind of contract you're gonna put him on. Like $30 million in a descending contract, or can you do that with a free agent signing? We did that with Brunson. So will he be okay with doing a descending contract? He's definitely a free agent this offseason. We will have to do a sign and trade. Doing a sign and trade for Jeremy Grant, works for us, like I said, because we have plenty of guys that we can move. I don't know what Portland is interested in, but we have guys that we can trade to send to Portland if they decide to cut their losses and go that route. But that's interesting though. Uh, Let me put this back up. The Knicks salary there. Once again for the rebuilding MYK. He said, "Get Grant to add to Randle, or we want to level up, not stay the same." See, I agree with this. Getting a Jeremy Grant to be the starting small forward, next to Julius Randle, that would be good because because we know Jeremy Grant could score. So listen, RJ Barrett, in the regular season, RJ Barrett coming off the bench might actually be a better gig. And it's not a demotion. A guy should be able to still do their thing no matter if they're starting or coming off the bench. The thing is, you guys have to play well. If Archie's playing well and if Jeremy Grant is playing well at the same time and Julius is playing well at the same time, how do you guard us? How do you guard the Knicks? So if everybody's playing well in that way, how do you guard us? So if anything, a guy like Jeremy Grant will be replacing an Obi Toppin, not replacing an RJ. In the rotation, who he would be replacing Obi. So how do you guard us when you have guys that are legit NBA scorers like that in the NBA? We'll always have somebody out there that can do something. He goes 19 con man. He says Grant could play the starting small forward and back up Randle the power forward. Yeah, he also could come off the bench too. If you feel better saying that RJ needs to start, whatever, then okay, cool. Then Jeremy Grant will be the guy to come off the bench to back up both positions. And how do you stop that? How do you stop it? There's one more thing I wanted to say here. I'm just taking a look at some of these guys. Shout out to Shaw. Shaw is contributing here, man. What's up, Shaw? He says Randall gets so much unnecessary hate that when people have a legitimate reason to hate him, sometimes I don't want to hear it because I heard it all before. Yeah, I get you, man. Like sometimes too. Like I want to criticize him, but me criticizing him is gonna bring all the other people up too. It's like, nah, I'm not saying it like how you saying it. I'm saying it in a basketball sense. Now I'm not saying it in how you're saying it. Here we go. Then now you're labeled and labeled and labeled. There's one more point here I want to point out here. Or this is the same thing. But it's so funny that this Spoelstra quote was retweeted by Kuzma with the defense stuff. So Kuzma he retweeted the New York basketball thing there. So he follows him. Obviously, he follows New York basketball. So he's a free agent also. So shout out to Jeremy Grant, shout out to Kuzma. These guys are all free agents here. So the Knicks are in the mix. The Knicks are playing well. They're in the playoffs. They're playing a style of play that people feel like they can come in and contribute. Kuzma will be a great addition. I think Julius and Kuzma will be excellent with Brunson as the 1 and 2. I think they will be excellent. Like at that point, I'll be looking to trade RJ or make RJ come off the bench. I think Kuzma could come off the bench too. But like I said, it depends. I don't care. I really don't care about that. I really just want the team to get better. I don't care who starts it or whatever. It's just that we need to optimize the talent on this roster to get better. And then I think that's one of the easiest ways to do that. Try just to get that extra player because we're not going to get a star. We don't have the clientele to get a Giannis right now. We don't have the clientele to get a Joel Embiid right now. But let's say if we sign Kuzma and add it to this club, shout out to what some of you guys are saying. Like you just want to add to what we got here. You know, who said that? Anyway, so whoever said that to add to the club. If we add Kuzma to this club, right? Add Kuzma and add another player to this club. Now we have extra firepower. So now if Giannis becomes available, now we can make a trade for Giannis. Because we done signed the extra talent. But we can't. We right at this juncture right now, we're not good enough to trade for a Giannis because it would totally destroy our team. Because then what we're gonna do? Once we trade all of our draft picks and half of our young guys for Giannis or Joel Embiid or whoever else you think, Dame or whoever else you want, we're gonna be stuck in the water. We're gonna be drowning. You know. So right now is not the time. So I think we just need to continue to tack on another player. We need to get another player here. Kuzma might be it. Jeremy Grant might be it. You know. So I think we need to keep our head out the clouds and keep it to the ground, really. And then continue to build good team defense. Just like chipping away, just like Miami did here. Keep scrolling, take a look at, make sure I don't miss any good points there. So, I really appreciate you when you guys pop in here and contribute to the chat and stuff. Here goes something here. Wagner, Cam Johnson, Lyles. There's quite a few players here. This guy Wagner's in Orlando. Shout out to I forgot money's name, but I forgot money's name. Uh, but he posted a trade today. What trade? Talking about trading for Wagner and trading all of our draft picks and stuff to get a guy like Franz Wagner from Orlando. You got to understand other teams like Orlando. Why would Orlando trade for more picks to get Wagner if they're a team that's rebuilding? This I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Right now Orlando, if after Orlando makes these drafts here, in this particular draft, and if they add some veterans or whatever they decide to do over there, they're gonna be better than us. Like I said, we keep playing around as if we're here. We can end up missing the playoffs again. We have to get better. We have to. We have to get better. Yeah, yeah. So Obi still scored 18 points on Miami in the playoffs, and then in playing the fourth quarter. Listen, we lost. Miami beat us. Even if he scored 18 points on Miami in one game and didn't play in the fourth quarter, that's cool. We still lost the series. If Obi Toppin was consistently just banging, then when Julius Randle is hurt, like he was in these playoffs, then Obi Toppin will warrant getting 30 minutes per game, and Julius Randle can get the low right now until he can get healthy. But Obi Toppin's not it. Obi Toppin's not it. Just because he scored 18 points, it doesn't mean it was like a forceful 18 points where it's like, wow, man, this guy's freaking taking guys off the dribble and turn around jump shots and flying to the basket and dunking and all kind of taking guys off the dribble. It was none of that. It just spot up 3-point shots, fast break layups, that type of thing. Nothing where he just was doing what Derek White was doing. Against Miami last night, where Derek White was creating shots and he was scoring like that. Obi Top has never done that in his career. Never done his career. Even when he had the big high scoring games, it wasn't like that he got the ball and he was just cooking. It was really just a lot of transition stuff, a lot of garbage time on points and that type of thing. It is what it is, man. So this is another thing too. Like, well, why do I hate Obi Toppin so bad, man? Like, why do you love him so bad? People complain about defense, right? Obi Toppin don't play defense. You know, people complain about the 3-point shot. Either Obi Toppin is hitting all net or he's missing the entire basket. Obi Toppin doesn't have any go-to moves to the basket. You know what I'm saying? He's afraid of contact. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'm not. That's not hate. That's a complete fact. And for me to say that Obi Toppin is not Amari, how is that hate? It's the fucking fact. Amari Stoudemire was 245. This guy Obi Toppin is 220 something. Two different people, man. Right now I don't know if you guys can see it. I am out of shape, quote unquote, but I'm 255, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm 255. So like me to being 255 going against, like having like a shoving match with somebody that's 220. That like right now you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win that match, unless you go buck wild like you're crazy, but straight up strength to strength, you're not gonna go again. You're not gonna move me. Just mathematics. Yeah, yeah. Jokobitis. Shout out to Kareem, man. What's good, Kareem? Everything is good with you. It would be a good time to bring up Jokobitis if you can include IQ and Randle. Listen, that's something. I have a pod that I'm going to talk about all these guys pretty soon. I might do it tomorrow. So we'll see. So Jokobitis, man, shout out to Jokobitis, got his teeth knocked out in the European playoffs recently, man. So shout out, I know you guys see my teeth. All right, the top teeth that I have are broken. I broke them when I was a kid, and I broke them several times playing basketball, falling on my face and getting knocked out the air and elbows and all kind of stuff. And I'm broken so many times. I got tired of going through the whole process of fixing it. So I just stopped fixing them. You know what I'm saying? I just stopped fixing them. So I planned on fixing them, like once I stopped playing, but I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on. And at this point now, the chip in my teeth now is part of my whole look and personality and stuff, man. So I probably would never fix it. And then right now it's been so long that I'm gonna have to get braces and all kind of stuff to get it properly fixed, and that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for that shit. And like I said, Nobody seems to care, especially the women. Women don't seem to care. And if they do care, who cares? I already got mines. I already got mines. So anyway, yeah, Kuz trying to get the bag. Kuz is, I mean, the bag for Kuz is what though? 40, 50? He's not gonna get that much. He'll probably get 30. He'll probably get around 30. Same thing like our guys on our squad. I see quiet money. Quiet money. What's good, quiet money? Quiet money. I haven't seen you physically in a long time, man. Pause, man. It's good to see you on these chats and stuff. How many games do you expect KP to play? So KP is another guy. I see people talking about KP here. This is Kuz here. So I said KP. Well, how many games do you think KP could play? KP could play. Right now, KP's different than when he's with the Knicks. When he was with the Knicks, he was glass, Mr. Glass. Now he's a little older. He doesn't play the same way. He still plays on the perimeter too much. Doesn't really have and he has a little bit more go-to moves. I gotta say that. To the basket and stuff like that. But as far as getting him, he's also a free agent, I believe, right? So would I get Kuzma in this group? It would have to make sense. It would have to make sense. I can see us getting KP here. Getting KP here. I think if you get KP here, you gotta get rid of Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Because we already have a guy like Mitch Robinson and Hartenstein, but Hartenstein makes 7 million. This guy Mitch Robinson has a great contract too. So I mean, it would be nice to have Mitch Robinson too. Keep Mitch Robinson and KP together. But Mitch Robinson's coming off the bench. He's not going to play with KP, even though that's possible as well. But it gives us options. So then like, do you keep Hartenstein? It gives you I mean, we do need the extra big. But Hartenstein is good enough for what he needs to play often, not to be a third or fourth bench guy off the bench. He's not that bad. He's a good basketball player. So we would have to make a decision, I think, on Mitchell Robinson or on iHeart. I particularly would prefer iHeart because he contributes offensively as well as defensively. Mitchell Robinson only contributes with dunking and blocking shots, dunking, blocking shots, and offensive rebounds. That's about it. He can't pass the ball and he can't make layups. He can't even attempt to shoot threes. It's just weird. He can't make free throws. I don't know. If you was to make a decision, like I said, it's always going to be Mitchell Robinson for me. I just don't believe in him at all. But if you get KP, KP's a 20-point a game scorer. So if you get KP, it's not the end all. We don't end there. Because we're still gonna have a problem. But the same thing, if Julius Randle's dribbling, if you got KP and Brunson on the squad, and you got RJ Barrett still, all those guys on the squad together, you got to pass that ball, bro. But that has to be a Tom Thibodeau thing. That has to be something that's in the mind frame of what Tom Thibodeau wants the Knicks to do. Incorporate guys into the offense, man. So like, listen, if you got the extra scorer out there in KP, that ball needs to move. Because KP is going to be open and he's going to hit those shots. I think KP has a clutch gene. KP can drive and dunk too. He can rebound now. He's been getting his little 10 rebounds per game, 10 rebounds per game, 8. He can get there. He can get the rebound and get those rebounds and stuff. So it's interesting. It's a lot of things that we could talk about this offseason that we could talk about without having to keep talking about Julius Randle's body language, man. I was like, what are we doing here? Shout out to Damien. What's good, man? Uh KP is a winner. Nobody's a winner until they do it. You know. Yeah, I agree with this man, child. Franz and Panchero, that's the cornerstone. They're gonna end up drafting another high level wing player, but that high level wing player would just be a part of the mix. If anything, if you're gonna make a trade with anybody, it's some of those other guys that they have on the squad. The what's the dude that didn't play much? This MAGA hat dude, that didn't play much. I forgot money's name, but we could trade for him. He's a guy that definitely would fit what we're trying to do at the small forward spot. I can't think of dude's name. I'm quite sure you guys have it on the tip of your tongues there. But he plays for Orlando. They didn't play the last 2 years due to injury. He's supposed to be back, ready to play now. So I think he will be a player the Knicks can pick up. On for the low actually. Yeah. So shout out to Quiet Money agrees with the Mitchell Robinson thing. See, Mitchell Robinson thing is it comes off as hate because people dick ride Mitchell Robinson so hard that I don't think is warranted. That's why I go hard on Mitchell Robinson extra because people go so hard to praise him, and I just don't see what people are praising. I mean, listen, when Mitchell Robinson got it going, like the Cleveland series, it works. But then when he doesn't have it going and he's spinning around with like a chicken without a head in the Miami series and got embarrassed, then what are you talking about? You have to look at both series. You can't say, "Oh, but he destroyed the Cleveland series." Yeah, but then he got his ass whipped by a team with the tallest player was 6'8" or 6'9". You know, shit is crazy, and he's like 7'2". It's unbelievable. Can't create his own shot at all. It's just unreal. Yay, this is a man child. This is the guy I'm looking at right there, Naz Reid. Spell check there, Naz Reid. That's a guy there that I'm looking at. You want to talk about a player that's made to be for the Knicks, man. Naz Reid, part of the Jelly fam. For those that remember the Jelly fam, Naz Reid was the big man on the Jelly fam. So listen, trade Mitch and go after Naz Reid. I'm with that. Naz Reid is a free agent. You want to talk about replacing Julius? That's a player I could replace Julius with. Well, like I said, if you get a Naz Reid, you have to look at trying to get a KP, or then you will have to look at trying to get a score from another spot. You have to fill these spots in there because we don't have that star. We're not going to get one. You know, yeah, Naz Reid is a very good guy, man. Very very good. Tough nose, New York City, tri-state area kind of guy. Trey Hardenstein for Naz Reid. I'm with it. However it goes, I'm not. There you go. Isaac on Orlando. Isaac. I'm thinking Isaac Hayes. It's not Isaac Hayes. It's Isaac something. I forgot money's name, but definitely Isaac on Orlando. That's a dude that we could probably trade for. I don't know if he's healthy though. You know. Uh, shout, yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Brazil Knicks, man. Shout out to Knicks fans Brazil. It's Mr. Victor there. Victor holding it down. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that does content. There's too many people doing content out there for people to just follow only one viewpoint. There's so many different viewpoints out there. So just take a look at a lot of people's stuff. Shout out to Knicks fan Brazil. That his primary English is not English. It's his primary language. Excuse me, is not English. Is Portuguese. Because he's from Brazil. So I mean, you can watch the show and kind of get the gist of it. Get the gist of what's happening. Get in the comments and say something, and then he'll change the language on you just so he can incorporate you in the story. Jonathan Isaacs, that's my man. So yeah, damaged goods, towards ACL a million times, you know what I'm saying? So, that's their problem. They signed him to all that money, so it's literally their problem. So I'm with that. Mr. Glass and all this, us trading for a guy that's been hurt like that, it's not really a good look. But if that's the guy that you want, that can be like that player to slide into that three spot to push RJ to the small forward, come on the bench type of thing. If you think that that's going to work for you, if you believe in that maybe this kid might be over his injuries, then if you go for it, then listen, then you have to really stand by that. But as long as you got a Jeremy Grant out there, then Isaac, Jonathan Isaac is not really worth going crazy for him. But like I said, that kid can fill up the stat sheet if he's healthy. What is going on here? So you said you lost your channel monetization these days because of something silly. But in June, I think I have it again. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that. Listen, running these YouTube channels is not easy, man. For those that I appreciate everybody contributing, coming out into the chats and stuff, and really supporting not just my channel, but the Nothing But Knicks crew. Like I said, Knicks fan Brazil, whoever else you listen to, please support because it's definitely not easy running these channels, man. Like you can lose your monetization for no reason. You get threatened all the time. Sometimes you get cyberbullied and all this other stuff. Sometimes YouTube will shut you down quietly and you don't even know why. A lot of stuff. And also to just preparing. Like I said, there's a lot of preparation going to these things. A lot of times, I got like a million notebooks that I got notes and stuff down that I write stuff down while I'm on the go. A lot of these podcasts that I do, I kind of just put together on the way from work while I'm driving home and stuff, man. So, it is what it is, man. So it's not easy to keep this up, consistent. I know this year has been very hard for me because my kids have been sick. I've been sick too this year. It's been very, very rough. Been trying to catch up with money too, with all the overtime and stuff that I lost being sick and, trying to be home with the kids and stuff. So it's been a kind of a hardship trying to keep this channel going. But listen, man, I heart New York. I freaking love the Knicks, man. I love talking Knicks. I love talking to you guys. I love doing this podcast stuff. And like I said, I'll keep doing the podcast as long as I can, as long as it makes me feel happy, and it definitely does, man. It definitely does. So anyway, yeah, let me shout out to Terrence Mosley here. He says, I just want to play over here that don't slap laptops. Yeah, man, fighting his teammates. Yeah, I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you. But like I said, how can we since we can't get that star player, since we can't get that all world player here, what can we do to tweak the roster and tweak the situation to make so Julius won't have to be under that extreme stress all the time? You know what I'm saying? You got a guy with a laptop telling, "Hey, look, this is what you need to do." And Julius, man, get that shit out my face, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would say. Like if I'm playing, I'm in the huddle, I'm listening, I'm frustrated, and some guy with a fucking laptop, "Hey, man, I've been trying to tell you the whole fucking week that you need to stop doing this. You need to stutter dribble and rotate like, man, get that fucking how many times I got to get that fucking laptop out my face? That's just a natural thing though. But for it to be played out in front of the world, that it is what it is. Especially like somebody that's not that really shouldn't be the main player. Julius shouldn't be the main player, but he is. Because I mean, we're the Knicks, and who's coming? Who's coming here? What major players coming here? And what have we not learned over the last few years with these star players, with the Nets and stuff like that? What have we learned? And sometimes getting that star player is not all what it's cracked up to be. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm with the consolidating the young players. I'm with that. Consolidating some of these guys, but it has to make sense. It can't just be swoop and dump, pump and dump these guys for nothing, you know. And then, like I said, if these guys do well on the other squad, and then what we didn't plan out, oh my God, forget about it. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, the Liberty, man. Shout out to Damian Cosby talking about the Liberty. Yeah, the Liberty's been great, man. I have that Liberty channel. I started a Liberty channel, and well, I'm thankful that I think through me starting a channel, because I think I was the only one basically. I think there was maybe like one other channel. Every once in a while they posted something. You know what I'm saying? But now there's other channels now that are doing actual Liberty content now. So shout out to the Liberty, man. That they definitely deserve it. Now that they have star players there, now people want to do channels. Shit is bugged out, but that's the way the world is, man. So it is what it is. So trying to get to the end here. Definitely don't want to talk about Cat. I've seen some free agents and or trade chips list that the Knicks can make a push for. Yeah, me too. So I mean that would be a the next topic on the Dire Knicks channel, man. We're gonna talk about some free agents and some other stuff too. I have a pod that I want to get out, pretty quick in this offseason. To see what you guys think about that. But anyway, I'm gonna end the pod now because we're over an hour. Thank you for hanging out. Like I said, I appreciate the company. Talking Knicks and stuff. Like I said, we're talking Knicks now. You kind of random grab back stuff at the end here, but please listen to check out the beginning of the pod, and listen to the points I'm trying to make and stuff, which led us to this point here. Hit the thumbs up on the way out, guys. And I see you probably tomorrow. Like I said, I have plenty of ideas for pods. There's always something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So as long as there's something to talk about, and like I said, as long as I'm having fun, I'll be here with you guys, spitting out this content, man. So anyway, this your boy Eru. 4 fingers to the floor, tucking the thumb salute. I see you guys next time. Enjoy the outro. Shout out to Trav B. Ryan, and I see you guys later. Peace.
Eru, I see you. Die hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, man, he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard.